Nityanandam. Welcome to the second session. Our creation. Creation is possible only in the presence of Prakriti, the divine feminine consciousness. After all, how was the universe created? It was only through the divine union of Shiva and Shakti, the feminine consciousness. The feminine physical form has been bestowed the beautiful task of creating the physical body of the baby. This places a woman in an incomparable position when it comes to pregnancy, a gift which surmounts anything else on planet Earth. It gives her yet another chance to seek her inner being and in gratitude appreciate her position in the universe. Extension of a physical being is that part of matter which is growing within her as a baby. Everything of that is only an extension of the mother's life till birthing happens, when the ultimate component, the life energy, becomes the occupant of this newly prepared baby. The life energy enters this prepared body the moment any part of the body of the baby comes in contact with the prana, which could be the head, the foot, or any part. Until then, the consciousness does not enter. We have a very strong evidence in our ancient literature from the Shaiva Siddhanta written by Tirumular in his Tirumantram. Let's go into the other part, which is something really deeper than DNA, which we need to ponder about. From the above presentation, it seems that events happen as a part of a normal physiology. In other words, a baby once formed by the physical union just grows. Come what may, the sequence of events simply happen. Is pregnancy only a passive event with no conscious role played by the woman? An extended thought, is it only the physical body that the woman is creating? Physical body plus what is what we need to look at. All the powerless words which she utters to herself or gives to herself during a conflict situation are sewn into the baby as patterns. We have also spoken about this earlier. The same is true of the husband also. He also has a very important role in sewing patterns into the body of the baby. This has been scientifically proven by the HeartMath Foundation and shown in the Power of Visualization video. Patterns mentioned earlier in the last session, when expressed in unawareness, do find their way into the baby. An individual relates basically only through two emotions, love and fear. Any other emotion is ultimately only an expression stemming from these two emotions. Emotion linked with thought or situation is an engram. In other words, any interaction which has left the individual unfulfilled creates an engram or an engraved memory in the person. These engrams, if they form a pattern in the mind, they are termed as muscle memories and are relatively superficial. Whereas biomemories are considered to be stacks or layers of engrams present in the core. Biomemory in this program, the End Pregnancy Care program, needs to be understood at two levels. One, which is the possibility, which is the physical part contributed by the parents, and the other, the construction, which is the mental part. Talking about consciousness and alteration of the DNA. Biomemory designed by the genes is the possibility or the physical part which is handed over by the parents, and this again is only one part of the physical part of the biomemory that we are speaking about. Transferring a desired genetic expression is also within the scope of parents, particularly the mother, as we will be talking about later. Hence, all the biomemory is not passed on to the individual through the genes by the parents. Now, the second part, actually I could go further into explaining what is meant by this genetic expression. Genes don't turn themselves on. the turning on happens with the perfect environment around it. And if the mother provides a supportive environment, she has the ability to turn on the right genes in the baby. So now we enter into the second part, that is the mental part of the biomemory, the major decision maker, a conscious decision maker which can build or create one's own life. It is like this: a piece of land is the physical possibility provided by the parents. To use it for agricultural purpose or for construction is the mental part decided by the life energy. In the case of Prahalada, the story, when he was in the womb, Narada constantly gave beautiful initiation and stories about Vishnu, and this created a beautiful biomemory in Prahalada's body. When Prahalada, the consciousness, landed in the body, he started expressing a similar mental biomemory which the life energy brought with it. So the possibility, that is the genes biomemory that was handed to him through his body, and his mental biomemory which he brought and coincided, with both biomemories complementing each other, hence a complete expression in the child. An individual does have a conscious role to play in his life despite what has been given to him through his parents. We shall now enter into the secret of birth and death. This becomes essential. An understanding of this from our Vedic tradition becomes very essential, because this is how conscious conception happens, conscious pregnancy happens, conscious birthing happens. Particularly when we are speaking about conscious birthing, understanding the journey of a soul becomes important. From the Vedic tradition point of view, the mother adds to the karmic baggage of the baby when she handles the pregnancy in unawareness. Karma, understanding its context in the terms of birth and death, is what we will be touching upon now. The very birth on planet Earth is only due to these biomemories, or samskaras as we call it in the Vedic terms. The whole body is created out of one's fear, guilt, greed and other engraved unfulfilled memories, only to work them out, experience them and ultimately live them out completely. And this is what is known as the prarabdha karma, the karma which we come down when we are born. Now, understanding the secret of birth, does a soul choose a body or parents choose the baby? I repeat the question, does the soul choose the body or do the parents choose the baby? It is the soul that chooses the body. How does the soul become attracted to the body we create for it? Once the life force leaves the body at the end of one's lifetime, within 3 kshanas, it chooses the next body. A kshana is a Vedic unit of time. It measures the space of time between one thought and the next thought. It is a subjective measurement and is different for each person. If a person has very few thoughts and a spacious thinking with much rest between thoughts, the kshana will naturally be long. The searching life force will have more time to find a body to jump into. If the expiring person has crowded thoughts with little space between, then you have the soul which has to search for a body much faster. Meditation decreases the amount of thoughts and expands this consciousness between one thought and another. In this way, it promotes a more desirable rebirth because it expands the length of the kshanas and provides the life force more time to seek a body of its choice rather than simply jumping into another body. What guides the life force in its search? How does it decide what kind of a body it would like to occupy? At the time of death, the 3 most enjoyed experiences in that lifetime stand out as one's last thoughts. The choice of the next body arises from the mindset based on these 3 experiences, the deepest of the experiences. These three thoughts will be based on one from each of the total karma. This birth karma, that is, let's understand it, one thought will come from the Sanchita karma, that is the total karma. The second thought will be coming from the birth karma, that is the karma with which you have been born, which is called as the prarabdha karma. And the third thought will be from the gathered karma in this lifetime, which is the agamya karma. Based on this, the prarabdha karma will take shape for the birth. The Sanchita karma is the debit bank of samskaras accumulated in an individual over his past lifetimes, which has to be entirely exhausted in order to free the person from the life-death cycle. That is called as nirvana or nibbana in other words. The prarabdha karma are those samskaras or karma which has shaped the present life, the very purpose behind this present birth. The agamya karma are those samskaras which the individual accumulates in this life in his unawareness. The more these three karmas are reduced, the less the constraints of choice for the next body. Since each of the three karmas will dictate a corresponding intense experience to be lived and completed, the next body will need to provide a space for these experiences to be lived and completed. It is like this. If I say, let me meet a person who can speak English, I have more choice than if I say, let me meet a person who can speak English, Spanish and German. Similarly, if you have all three types of karma of this birth gathered and the total karma, there are more constraints on the next birth. For example, the desire influenced by your total sanchita karma may be, I want to be beautiful. The desire influenced by your karma of this birth, that is prarabdha, may be, I want to be rich. The desire influenced by your gathered or agamya karma may be, I want to settle down in the USA. It is more difficult to get a body that will lead to the satisfaction of all these three desires within the short gap of 3 kshanas. So what happens is, in the end, the consciousness ends up choosing a body that satisfies the strongest desires amongst the 3 desires. The combined desires, the mindset with which the life energy leaves the previous body is the vasana. The seeds of desire we earlier talked about. This seed of desire seeking an expression is like a television channel, and the body that attracts the vasana is like the television set tuned into this channel. I repeat, the seed of desire seeking an expression is like the television channel, and the body that attracts the vasana is like a television set perfectly tuned into this channel. So the depth of the vasana and the body that matches the vasana attracts the life energy. Just like a television set tuned into a satellite channel's frequency receives the corresponding electromagnetic waves, in the same way the vasana is attracted by the body. The consciousness enters the body in the birth canal of the mother during the process of birthing. Since the body has been prepared by the energies of the parents, the life energy chooses the combined energies of the parents which synchronize with its desires, the mental attitude with which it leaves the previous body. So the parents do not choose the child, it is the child that chooses the parents. But one important indirect, powerful method of attracting or inviting a higher life energy to occupy the body would be to improve the quality or the nature of the body with good biomemories, which is the essence of this end pregnancy care program. Conscious living with accumulation of little or no samskaras would lead to conscious death, where the choice of the next birth or no birth also becomes a conscious decision. I repeat this again. Conscious living with accumulation of little or no samskaras would lead to a conscious death, where the choice of the next birth or no birth also becomes a conscious decision. Then, if the next birth still happens, it is for no reason but out of overflowing joy and bliss. The birth is thus chosen consciously because there is no pull of karma. Prahalada's body was prepared with all the teachings of Vishnu, that it invited only that kind of soul which could reclaim these memories and start living. In this context, let me add that if a being were to live in completion throughout its life, when the soul departs, there are no unfulfilled desires, and this soul has enough time to decide where to be born, which parents to choose, its purpose in this life, and if it decides not to take a rebirth, it can do that also. This being should have lived the four tattvas in its lifetime and expressed the powers of words, thinking, feeling, and living. It is this soul which takes a conscious birthing and is actually attracted to a consciously prepared body in the womb. This is the key to conscious pregnancy, working consciously on the quality of the physical body, which in turn attracts the soul of similar frequency towards it.